A long, long time ago in a land far, far away, cell phone companies used to charge people per minute. Now most companies have plans that you just have unlimited minutes or unlimited texts. But a long time ago they used to say, if you've talked 1 minute, your cost is going to be 32 cents. If you've talked for 2 minutes, your cost is going to be 44 cents, and so on. Okay? So what would the graph of this relationship look like? What goes down here?
Number of minutes.
Minutes? Number of minutes. How do I label that? How do I count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So 1 is here?
No, that's 0.
Oh, okay. That's 0. So 1 is here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then what?
Cost of the call.
Would be like point.
Cost of the call. How should I count?
I did.
What? By 10 cents.
By 10 cents?
Right.
So 0.1 is right here? Oh, that's 0. Okay.
0.
0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. Guess what a kid did earlier? 0.10.
Okay, don't make fun of me because I just did that.
Okay, it's just 1, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, okay, good, good, good. Is that all that needs to go? Could I put X here and Y here? Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Now what? What? Oh, put the points on the graph, okay? So if X is 1, then Y is 0.32. So like right there. If X is 2, Y is 0.44. If X is 3, Y is 0.56. If X is 4, Y is 0.68. And if X is 5, Y is 0.8. That one's easiest to find, right? And then 9 is 6 is 0.92. What shape is this?
It's a line.
Can you prove to me that it's a line?
Yes.
How can you prove to me that it's a line? That says it's a function. If it passes the vertical line test, it is a function. But how can you prove to me that this is a line?
Because you don't have to talk through, like, you don't have to talk exactly a minute, do you? Can you, like, maybe not, never.
I know what you're talking about. No, I know what you're talking about. And that's going to come into play on the next worksheet. Like, as a big deal right now, it's not so much. Okay? But good point. Yes, sir.
Does it only charge you for like a full minute?
It only charges you for a full minute.
No, you don't.
So if you pay like, or if you talk for 1 minute and 3 seconds, it charges you for 2 minutes.
So it's not a line.
No, it's not.
How do you decide if something's a line or not?
If it's continuous, it's free.
If the points keep on going.
Okay, so first of all, can I draw a line through these right now?
Yes.
No.
No, because I was given the points in a table, right? I wasn't given a function. But look at what number 2 says. Determine the equation that relates these points.
So it is.
So it is a line. So now I have to find the equation of the line. Well, do we know any equations of lines we can start with?
Y equals something something.
Y equals something something. That's good. Okay, we can start with y equals. Y equals what? What's a formula that we know?
0.2 plus 12.
Y equals mx plus b. Right? Okay. So what we have to do is we have to decide what's the slope of this line. If it's a line, if it's truly a line, it should have a constant slope, right? And then we have to figure out where it crosses the y-axis. Okay? Notice, please, as I go from each of the x values to the next x value, what's happening?
It's adding to
Don't say.
Wait. Oh, it's going up 1.
It's going up by 1, right? From one x value to the next x value, it's increasing by 1 every time.
So y equals 1x?
So as I look at the y values, what's happening to the y values?
They're going up
12
by
cents.
12.
Those are going up by 12 cents every single time, right? And since I know that m, my slope, is my change in y's divided by my change in x's, if my change of y's is every single time 0.12, and my change in my x's is every single time 1, what is 0.12 divided by 1? 0.12. So y equals 0.12x plus something. Now, why did I already go ahead and put plus there? Could it be minus? Oh, because it's above 0 already, right? Okay. So how am I going to figure out? Don't tell me the answer. Tell me how I'm going to figure out what b is.
You have to figure out what 0 is.
I have to figure out what 0 is. Can you explain what you mean by that? What about 0?
Good.
I know the answer.
Well, I know what the answer is too, but that doesn't help you guys.
Can you talk 0 minutes?
When you talk 0 minutes, so when x equals 0, right? So if I start from here, what's happening every time as I go this way on x's? Subtract 1 every time. So if I subtract 1 more, will that put me at 0?
Yes.
Okay? What's happening as I go this way every time on the x's? Excuse me, the y's. This is subtracting 12, right? 12 cents. So what happens if I go 1 more? Won't that give me what x is 0?
Yes.
What is it? 0.2. Because 0.32 minus 0.12 is 0.2, right? 2/10. So that is my y-intercept. And look, does it cross the y-axis at 0.2?
Yes.
Would that point make sense? Yeah. Okay, any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Then I have 2 questions on the bottom of the page. How much would a customer expect to pay for a 15-minute call? And I also have, if a customer is charged $1.52 for a call, how many minutes did she talk? Now, I'm a little offended at the fact that they're assuming it's a girl if she's talking, but I'll get over it. Okay? So, what are we going to do on number 3?
You're gonna, well, I did it the hard way.
Tell me the hard way then, if you did it the hard way.
I started from 7, 8, 9. And
So you just
I-
continue the table?
Yeah.
Yep, that's definitely the hard way.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's what I did.
But chances are, if you did it right, you'll get the same answers if we do it the easy way. That's the whole thing about it.
That's how I would do it.
Okay? If we know a relationship between the cost of the call and the number of minutes, and I know that the number of minutes equals x, can I possibly use that for number 3?
So all you gotta do is plug in 15 and x, right?
Y equals 0.12 times 15 plus 0.2. That's exactly right. What is 0.12 times 15? 1.8? Did you do that in your head? Good. I did it in my head too. You want to see how I did it? Can I show you real fast? Do I know what 12 times 15 is? I don't. But I know what 12 times 12 is. That's 144, right? And how much did I leave off right here?
3.
3. So what's 12 times 3? I know that one also. That's 36. So what would I get if I added these two numbers?
180.
180. Then I have to take my place value into account. It's not 180, it's 1.8.
So it'd be $2.
Yes, I know, I'm a genius. That is okay. Please do not bow. Please do not bow. No. Okay? So what is wrong with my answer?
No dollar sign.
No dollar sign. Is it required?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's asking me a question, right? I have to answer the question that's being asked. Okay? I can't say to you guys, how hot is it outside? And you tell me, the sky is blue. That doesn't make any sense, does it? We're both talking about outside, but we're not making it clear what either one of us are talking about. So after we get an answer of 2, I have to say my answer is $2. Okay?
$2.
And for the record, when I was grading your tests on Thursday, I had a very difficult time finding some of your answers because you didn't tell me where it was. Okay? Please tell me where your answers are. All right? So what about number 4? Same way? Do I put $1.52 in for X?
No. Because the $1.50 is the Y.
The $1.52 is the Y, right? It's the cost of the call. So I have to put the $1.52 in for y. So how do I solve then for x?
Work backward.
Work backwards. So what do you want me to do first?
Subtract 0.2.
Subtract 0.2 from both sides. That's a good first step. What do I get when I subtract 0.2 from both sides? Well, this is a 0, right? So on the right-hand side of the equation, I'm left with 0.12x. What am I left with on the left-hand side? 1.32, right? And then divide by 0.12. X equals 11. Is that the answer to my question?
No, it's the, yeah.
$11?
11 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, 11
That's
minutes.
what I meant.
Well, I don't understand how you got 0.32.
Because she subtracted
1.52 minus 0.2. This is in the tens, this is in the tens. So that's what I've got to subtract.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Any questions about number 1, 2, 3, or 4? Some of you aren't focused. I need you to focus. Are there any questions?
I got it.
Okay, go to your other worksheet then, please. Let's work on these together. I'm going to rely a whole lot more on you guys this time. A function contains only these 5 points. Blah, 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 and blah. A, graph the function. Do it. Graph your function.
I did it.
Thank you. Does yours look like mine? Good, because mine's right. I said mine's right. Is this function continuous or discrete?
Discrete.
How do you know it's discrete?
Because we don't have a function. That's it. It's only gives us numbers.
It only gives you terms, right? It doesn't give us a function. It only gives us terms. Okay, I do have to tell you, I have to be honest with you. When I was grading your tests on Thursday, I did laugh at my head inside some of you.
Again?
I laughed inside my head at some of you.
Again?
Yes, again. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Because here was the question. The question on that test said continuous or discrete. That's all it said. Continuous or discrete. And some of you did this. Like the word was right here, and then you spelled it wrong.
I circled it in the question.
Some of you did that too, and I was okay with that because I could tell what you meant. But some of you like spelled it wrong even though the word was right there. I'm just be honest, I laughed a little bit inside my head at you. Sorry. I mean, not like really sorry because I still did it, but sorry.
We didn't learn from the first time you
No,
laughed?
no you didn't.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay. Is this function increasing or decreasing?
It's decreasing.
Now decreasing. Now, something that happened from last time to this time. The last time we had a scatter plot and you guys plotted the points, it said increasing or decreasing. Some of you put neither. And that was okay because it was right? It was like one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here, right? So it wasn't doing either one. Some people took that to mean if it's a scatter plot, it's not increasing or decreasing. Is that correct?
No.
No. Okay. Yes, this is a scatter plot. Yes, we are only given 5 points. But can we tell that if there was a function there, would the function be increasing or decreasing? Yeah, it would be obvious, right, that it would be decreasing. Hopefully obvious. If not, we should talk. Okay? That's happened a couple times in my calculus class where either my professor or some of the other people are like, well, obviously it's this, and I'm just like, okay, it's not obvious to me. I don't know. And then I feel dumb. Okay? But then they explain it, and then I get it. Okay? So if you felt dumb just then when I said obviously, don't worry, I'll explain it and you'll get it. Yes, sir?
How'd you do on your test this weekend?
I don't know how I did on my test this weekend yet. I know for sure that I got the first half of 5 and the third half of 5 and the extra credit. So I know I got a 15 out of 80.
That's good.
Yeah, not really. That's not really good, but I was very confident on those. I was mostly confident on the rest of it, so I'm hoping for, I'm honestly hoping for passing, but I really would like a B or an A. So, but realistically, I'm hoping for a passing. So, okay. All right, so let's talk about D. Identify the function's domain and range. You got this, right?
Yes.
Tell me what the domain is then.
-5. That'd be
No, it's -2, -1,
Negative.
0, 1, 2.
Like that?
Yeah.
That was a funny joke. I liked that joke.
Thank you.
It's 3.
What were you trying to tell me?
Well, yeah.
The range? Okay, so tell me the range then.
-5, -3, 1, and then 3. -1 and then 3.
No, you got a 1.
-5, 3, -1,
3.
1, and 3.
No, I didn't.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
What the heck?
What equation relates the x and y values in this function? How is that any different than this part right here in number 2?
It's not.
It's not, right? So let's do it. This one's even easier for it's graphed for us, so we can see our slope and we can see our y-intercept, can't we? What's our slope? -2, because we're down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. And what's our y-intercept? -1. Good. We can see it crosses the y-axis at -1. So here comes a big conversation. Are you ready to have one? You just told me that this function was discrete when I very clearly have an equation.
So it's continuous. It's continuous. Hold on.
Yes.
Tell me what you think.
I think it's continuous.
How is our information given to us?
Oh wait, it's well, it says it only contains these.
How is our equation, or how is our information given to us? As points, right? This is the function. This is an equation that relates these two values. Okay? So this function, this equation is related to this function, but they are not the same thing.
So it's still discrete.
Okay? Yes, this function is discrete. What about this equation? Can you tell me about this equation? Would it be continuous?
Yes.
Yes? I'm trying to write continuous and my pen's not working. T-I-N-U-O-U-S. It is continuous. What is its domain? It's a line, right? What's the domain of a line? All real. What is the range of a line? All real numbers. Okay? So I wrote this out here to the side because of what I knew what was coming in F. Okay? How does the domain of the representative equation, this thing, compare to the function itself? So this domain. How are these two domains compared to each other?
The one for the equation is all the numbers, the other one's just a certain amount.
The domain of the equation, is that what you said? Is all real numbers, and the domain of, what'd you say, the function?
Yes.
The function is -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. So they are
kind of different.
Oh, different. Yes, they are different.
That's under my.
Yeah, I knew how to spell it. I was just hoping you would guess the word before I got done with it. Questions? We good?
Yes, ma'am.
The phone company charges $29.90 per month. Excuse me, $29.99 per month to use their services and network. In addition, they charge an extra fee of 12 cents per minute for all calls. Okay? For the record, if this is what your phone company does right now, get a new phone company. Okay? What equation relates the number of minutes with the month's charges at this phone company? How should we start? Yep. Y equals. What is the change? What is the charge per minute? That's the slope, right? The change per minute, change per something. 12 cents per minute. And how much did we start with? $29.99. Is the function increasing or decreasing?
Increasing.
Increasing? How do you know that? We don't have a graph to look at.
Because it's adding.
It's adding, right? It's logical. That's how we can think of it, right? Okay. I knew I would have to record this all day, and now I'm just nervous about it. Because we have to talk about C. Would you consider the function continuous or discrete?
Continuous.
Why? Why would you say continuous?
Because it has a function. I mean, it has an equation.
We had an equation up here.
No, but this is given to us before.
It was?
Yeah. Like, we don't have points, so we're supposed to get points.
Okay. So, how much is it going to cost if I talk for 1 minute? The beginning fee plus 12 cents, right? How much is it going to cost if I talk for 2 minutes?
You just put 2 in.
The beginning fee plus 24 cents, right? What if I talk for 2.5 minutes? Are they going to charge me a half fee for a half a minute?
No, they're going to charge you a whole minute.
They go straight to the next minute, right? So can I have partial minutes?
No,
No.
so it's discrete.
Okay? So that was, like, I let my pre-AP classes argue about this morning. And it really wasn't an argument. It was just a discussion, kind of like we had right now. Okay? And the problem is, when I went and looked on the answer key, it says continuous. And I don't agree with that. And I talked to Miss Patton across the hall, and I said, what do you think? You know, answer this question for me. And she said, it's discrete. Okay? So we're going to go with the fact that they wouldn't charge partial money for a partial minute, because very clearly in the instruction says 12 cents per minute. It's not 6 cents for half a minute. It just says 12 cents per minute. And if we go that route, it is discrete. It is not continuous. Okay? And so because we're choosing discrete, that means we have to write our domain and range a different way. Okay? This, honestly, though, would be one of those places, like I told you at the beginning of the year, where if you could defend your answer, I would take that into account. Fair enough? Okay. So if we know it's discrete, how are we going to write our domain and range? I want to make it as easy on us as possible, but I want to do it right. Am I allowed to say the domain? First of all, domain is X, right? And I know X is minutes, right? So tell me about the minutes in this problem. What can we have?
12 cents per minute.
Can I have 5 minutes? Can I have 20 minutes? Can I have negative 3 minutes?
No.
Okay. So how should I write that?
So it'd be like,
All round numbers greater than 0.
All real numbers greater than 0, right? And so if I write X is greater than or equal to 0 for my domain, guys, the problem with that is that contains 1.2 minutes. Can we have 1.2 minutes?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Put whole number.
Oh,
So we can say counting
by 1.
by ones. Remember when we did that at the beginning of the year also?
No. Yes.
No's and yeses? Okay, well that's all right. We can go with that. So then tell me what my range is going to be. My Y values, which is the cost.
There, well, I mean, as
Where does it start?
21.
Uh-huh. So Y is going to be greater than or equal to 29.99. But in this case, I need to count by 12 cents. That's how much it changes every time, right? How do domain and range in the problem situation up here differ from that of this function? It's going to be very similar to the wording up here on this problem. You mind if I keep on going so we make sure we finish?
Yes.
I need you to finish E though, okay? Put an answer there. We'll come back and finish if we have time. So look at problem number 3, please. Problem number 3. Is this function continuous or discrete?
Discrete.
Discrete. Why?
Because we're not given anything.
Okay, we're only given 3 points. Is the function increasing or decreasing?
Increasing. -1, 2.
I am trying very hard not to correct you on the video, but you are making me angry by the amount that you're talking. I don't want to call you down on the video by name because then it's for all posterity to hear that you weren't behaving in class today. But you're making me angry by the amount you're talking. Just trying to be honest. Identify the function's domain and range.
-1. No, the domain is -1. 2.
-1, 2, and 4. I'll go with that. What about the range?
-1.
-1.
2 and 4.
Domain and range are exactly the same. Is that allowed? If that's what the points say, right? What's the equation?
There's
Is there one?
Yes, there is. There is an equation.
Why?
It always starts with y equals, right? Or f of x equals
Y equals X.
y equals x. That's the only time domain and range can be exactly the same, right? When y equals x. Okay? Yes, ma'am?
So if you did the f equals x, would you just be like,
If we did f of x instead, it would just say f of x equals x. That's a good question. How does the domain of the representative equation, this one, compare with the function itself? What's the domain of this equation?
X.
It is the x values. What are the x values allowed to be in this equation?
Or
All real numbers, right? So this is all real numbers. This is only 3-point values. Okay? Again, we'll come back and do that one if we have time. Let's look at number 4. Charlie rented a boat from Alex's paddle boat rental shop for $15 and is deciding how long to keep it. The rental company charges $2.50 per hour to rent a paddle boat. Anybody ever ridden on a paddle boat, for the record?
It sucks. It's awful.
It's tiring.
I just like to float it.
You just like to float? You just rather rent a boat?
I'm not gonna rent it. Just to float it. If it's
Are you going to buy one? You're going to make one?
No.
Oh. That would be fun. No? Okay. What equation relates the number of hours with the total charge with this rental company? How do we start?
Y.
Y equals?
250 times X.
You know what this crazy kid did earlier? He said 15 plus 2.5x.
Is that okay?
What you just said, or somebody just said, is y equals 2.5x plus 15.
That's what I said.
It's the same thing.
Oh, it's the same thing?
That's what I said.
They said this one makes more sense because you start with 15 and then add 250 per hour. Does it matter?
No.
When would be the only time it mattered? If I said this must be in slope intercept form, absolutely. Okay? Slope-intercept form says the slope has to come first and then the intercept. It doesn't say that anywhere. It just says write an equation, right? Okay? Is it increasing or decreasing? Increasing, how do you know? We're adding each time. And we started above 0, okay? Would you consider the function continuous or discrete?
Continuous. No, discrete, because it's every hour.
Same kind of reason as before, right? We're going to go with discrete. And if I find out later I'm wrong, I will get them to explain it to me, and then I will come explain it to you. Fair enough?
Can we put all numbers and can I no?
Nope.
Do we just gotta put the regular days?
For my domain, that's my x, that's my number of hours, so what can my number of hours be? Can it be 0?
X.
Can it be 0?
Yeah.
Yes. Can it be 5?
Yeah.
30?
Yes. So it's all real
Negative
numbers.
2?
All real numbers greater than 0.
All real numbers greater than 0. So x is greater than or equal to 0. Counting by 1. What about my range? Y is greater than or equal to?
0.
Close.
Would it be
15.
2.5?
It would be 15, because that's where I have to start, right? That's my beginning charge.
Close.
Counting by what?
2.5.
Uh-huh.
Ones.
Counting by what?
15. 2. 15.
By 2.5, right? All right, so we have time, so let's go ahead and finish all the E's. How do the domain and range of the problem situation differ from that of the representative function? The domain of the function is what? What's the domain of this function? All real numbers. But the domain of the situation is x values greater than 0 counting by 1s. Okay? Can we think back to problem number 3, letter E? How does the domain of the equation compare with that of the function?
All real numbers.
The domain of the function is all real numbers. That one right there, right? But the domain of the situation is -1, 2, and 4. One more. The E from the bottom of number 2. How do the domain and range of the problem situation differ from that of the representative equation? The domain of the function is all real numbers. Anybody see a pattern here? Good. But the domain of the situation is x is greater than or equal to 0 counting by 1. Any questions? What's your homework? Flip video. Please don't forget to watch it tonight, okay? Any questions? Peace.